All right, moving onward and upward tonight on Championship Wrestling, a tag team contest. It's going to be Chris Wilde and Jeff Fortune, the team of Wild Fortune, facing Wanton Jay and Vicious Ace, the Vandal brothers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 442 pounds. First, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Chris Wilde, and from Loch Lomond, Virginia, Jeff Fortune. Together they are Wild Fortune.
All right, a rematch this evening between Wild Fortune and the Vandal brothers. Mr. Schimmelman, please enlighten us some more.
Well, things was very different back then, Don. It was 9 months ago, and you'll remember, Chris and Jeff, they were the Rage Television Tag Team Champions then, before Wilcox and Hollywood came along. MJ Ferrantino's got no beef with them, the Vandal brothers have no beef with them, but they won another match, and so here we are tonight.
Well, the Vandals won the previous match, so why?
Their opponents, accompanied by Matthew James Ferrantino from Vandalsburg, Pennsylvania, at a combined weight of 666 pounds, the team of Wanton Jay and Vicious Ace Vandal, the Vandal brothers.
I really couldn't say why specifically, Don. MJ Ferrantino, he's what they call mercurial. I can't figure him out. But for some reason, he felt that the Vandal brothers needed another go against Wild Fortune. And I saw no reason to, say no, so here we are.
I can't understand why he would want that. I mean, after all, if the Vandals won the last match 9 months ago, he's certainly not going to expect anything to be any different tonight. The Vandal brothers, Jay and Ace, outsize, outweigh, and outpower Wild Fortune by a pretty significant margin.
Yeah, but don't forget, Chris and Jeff have been real successful lately. That last match they had against the Coffee Brothers, nobody expected them to win that, but they did. Who can say? They'll probably split 1-1 tonight.
I'd imagine that would be the best Chris Wilde and Jeff Fortune could hope for, is to split 1-1 with the Vandal brothers. Although with their size and strength and power, the face-painted face breakers are definitely the heavy favorites to win this rematch. In any case, should be an interesting matchup with Chris Wilde and Wanton Jay Vandal starting the match for their respective teams. Just about ready to get underway here. Tom Canamora sounds the bell. Chris Wilde with a couple of hard rights and a clothesline that fails to take Jay Vandal down. There's a kick, a right, a left. Followed up with a series of knees to the midsection that takes Chris Wilde down to the mat. Chris rounded up again by Wanton Jay Vandal. A series of short kicks to the head of Chris Wilde. He tags out, turns it over to Vicious Ace Vandal. Rebounds off the rope, misses his move. Chris Wilde goes behind, quickly countered by Ace Vandal, who shoves him away effortlessly. Shoves him away a second time. A hard right that sent Ace Vandal several feet. Both men missing their move on that one. A knee, a cheap shot. Chris Wilde with a right, another, and a third, and a fourth backing up. Ace Vandal quickly taking him down with a clothesline. Chris Wilde tags out, turns it over to Jeff Fortune. Ace Vandal back to a standing position. But Jeff Fortune pitches him up against the ropes, quickly countered with an elbow by Ace Vandal. Ace with a series of kicks to the head of Jeff Fortune this time. And this is not looking good for Jeff Fortune, as Ace Vandal starts to really put on the pressure here. Twisting both arms on Jeff Fortune. Follows it up with a pair of knees to the back. And Jeff Fortune counters with a kick, gets back up to a standing position here. Ace Vandal trying to crawl his way to the corner, and he makes it. Here comes Wanton Jay Vandal again. Locks that up with Jeff Fortune. Hard whip to the ropes. A duck under from Jay Vandal, and a hard shot to the gut to Jeff Fortune. Oh, what a forearm. Jeff Fortune quickly making a tag, turning it over to Chris Wilde. Jay Vandal taken down with a clothesline by Chris. They lock up. Jay Vandal whipped to the corner, and a beautiful monkey toss from Chris Wilde. Going for a cover here. 1, 2. Dalton, no dice. Wanton J. Vandal powering out. Chris Wilde locks him up. Clubbing overhand right gets him down to one knee at least. Chris Wilde whips him to the ropes. Oh! Walked into a brick wall on that one. Wanton J. Vandal was immovable. Whoa, accidental cheap shot, stunning his brother from Ace Vandal, but a hard right takes Chris Wilde down to the canvas. MJ Ferrantino looking on as Chris Wilde is whipped to the ropes. Another hard punch to the midsection to Chris Wilde. Wanton J. Vandal with a wrist clutch clothesline and an attempt at a cover. 1. But only 1, says referee Tom Kanamura. They lock up again. A kick right to the head of Chris Wilde. Wanton J. Vandal strategically picking up exactly where his brother Ace left off and working on the arms of their opponent. J. Vandal twisting those arms, and boom, another pair of knees to the lower back. This time to Chris Wilde, a stomp to the midsection. A series of short staccato kicks followed up with a hard forearm. And so far, the advantage has been to the Vandal brothers. Chris whipped to the Vandal's corner. Catches a series of knees from Wanton J. Vandal. J. Vandal follows up with a couple of kicks, putting all of that 333 pounds into those boots, and boom, a pair of knees right across the chest of Chris Wilde. Chris Wilde desperately makes the tag over to Jeff Fortune. Wanton J takes him down with a clothesline. Rounds up Chris Wilde again. He's not through. There's a wrist clutch kick to the face to Chris. A rebound off the ropes. Misses with the flying punch to Jeff Fortune. Jeff makes him pay with a knee to the head. Out to the floor rolls Wanton J. Vandal. Jeff Fortune, changing his mind about a high-risk maneuver, decides to go after Ace instead. Tags him with a couple of rights. A knee right to the head from Wanton J. Vandal. Jeff Fortune catches a series of running forearms. Counters with a kick to the midsection. Locks up Wanton J. Vandal. Pitches him into the corner. And now playing a game of tug-of-war with the arm of Wanton J. Vandal. Hard shot to the midsection. Jeff hangs up Ace Vandal off the top rope, and he's gone. And goes right back to work on the arm of Wanton J. Vandal. Both these teams are very strategic in their moves. An elbow to the head, a hard right to Jeff Fortune. Up over the shoulders goes Jeff. GTS knee to the skull. This could be the end right here. 1, 2. But again, only a 2 count. Chris Wilde making the save, but only at the last minute. Wanton J. Vandal goes after him, and here we go. A series of brutal 10-count punches administered by Wanton J. Vandal to Chris Wilde. And down he goes, out onto the floor as Jeff Fortune, the legal man in the ring, makes his way. A drop kick that doesn't take J. Vandal down. Jay, with a hard Irish whip to Jeff Fortune, rounds him up for a bear hug, but no good. Jeff Fortune, one step ahead, breaks it up with a series of right hands, whips Jay to the corner, a clothesline, takes J. Vandal down, and look at this. Wild Fortune starting to turn things around here for themselves. As J. Vandal tags in Ace. Vicious Ace Vandal misses with the running kick. Jeff Fortune misses with his move respectively. Here we go, all the way up, another knee to the head to Jeff Fortune. A pummeling series of right hands, a stomp to the midsection from Ace Vandal. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, this one is all over. The Vandal brothers picking up the win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 6 minutes and 36 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, Wanton J and Vicious Ace Vandal, the Vandal brothers.
Well, full marks to Chris Wilde and Jeff Fortune for a valiant effort, but it simply was not going to be enough against the combined power of the Vandal brothers. As you can see here in the replay, as Ace Vandal absolutely dominates Jeff Fortune, and there's that knee right to the skull that put his lights out. And that was just about it. A couple of more hard left hands. And Ace Vandal went for the pin. Coming up, more ladies action when we return.